These greens are only 5 days old and I grew them right here on my counter. No grow lights, no fancy setup. You can grow these in an apartment or an off-grid cabin, whichever one you're dealing with. Today I'll show you exactly how to grow garden cress indoors super fast, step by step, so you can have fresh peppery greens in less than a week. Welcome back to Carter's Gardens, where we're all about sustainable, living from the garden, even if the garden ends up being just a windowsill. Garden cress is one of the fastest foods you can grow, packed with flavor and great on eggs, sandwiches, and salads. We're also going to put it in some soup and try a few other things with it. Anywhere you want a crispy, peppery bite, garden cress has got you covered. Let me show you the super simple setup we use that you can copy at home. You don't really need much for this. A shallow tray or a recyclable container works out just fine. We got ours from Dollar General. They're on sale from Thanksgiving for $1 a piece, and they came with this lovely plastic top that will be great for a humidity dome. Paper towels and a potting mix. I'm going to show you 2 ways to do this, so that way you can do whichever one works best for you. Of course, garden cress seeds, a spray bottle of water. We got ours from Walmart, I do believe. It was on sale too. We got it at the end of the season. It's a pump up sprayer. It's pretty nice. And the last part is optional, but like I mentioned before, we have the humidity dome plastic style lids. You can also use saran wrap for this because you're not going to use the full height of this tray, or you can just leave them completely open and just miss them when you walk by and notice that the top layer is getting crusty, whichever you prefer to do. And that's it. No special lights, no fertilizer, just going to wing it all together. So let's prep our trays. With the paper towel technique, we're going to go ahead and lay down 2 to 3 layers. Then we're going to spray them down. We want them damp. We do not want the seeds swimming. Think wrung out sponge. For soil or coconut coir, we're going to be using, of course, Fox Farm Happy Frog because I've sifted that. It's all ready, so that's what I always use for seed starting, and it seems to do me really well. Or you can even use coconut coir, and you want about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch of the mix in the bottom of the tray. Then moisten it with the spray bottle. Also remember, you don't have drain holes in the bottom of these, so go ahead and just mist it and continue to think wrung out sponge. Too much water, you're going to drown everything. It's going to mold and it's going to be terrible. Bonus tip, use room temperature water. Somewhere in between 60 and 80 degrees would be perfect for your first initial watering. During the setup of the trays, it'll rehydrate the soil a little bit quicker, and it actually speeds up germination on most seedlings. Same rule of supply, go ahead and keep it moist, but keep it about like a wrung out sponge. Garden cress seeds are tiny, and we're growing microgreens, so we kind of want to plant them a little bit thicker. And if you don't have an overabundance of seeds, don't worry, just sprinkle them out across both surfaces. It'll be fine. And we don't want to bury these. We want to just give them a light misting over the top. The moisture will help settle them into the soil, and they'll be just fine. Now we're going to go ahead and put our humidity dome over the top of them. This will keep the moisture in. It also raises the humidity, which will speed up germination. And for the next 3 days, we're going to want to keep them somewhere warm, around 65 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. And then you're going to want to check on these once or twice a day. Stem there. Don't worry. More than likely just hairs coming off of them. But if you see any like blotches of white fuzz, that's more than likely mold. We need to get that out of there. And lower our watering just a little bit. Take the humidity dome off for about 24 hours, put it on a fan for an hour, watch it, and let the fan kind of off the top layer of that soil just a little bit, and that should kill most of the mold. And around day 3, you should start to see your sprouts coming up. If they're not, that's fine. Give them another couple of days. It should be the first 3 to 5 days. They should be ready to rock. Now we're going to go ahead and take that humidity dome off of there, because if you leave it on there, it's going to cause rotting or knock disease. That's the one I wanted. Now this is where we have two options. You can take them to a nice lovely windowsill and they will do just fine, fantastic. If you have a grow set up, go ahead and stick them underneath that. But either way, we've had luck with them. Just the lights in the kitchen itself or the back in the laundry room, they've done great. Or just leaving them on the kitchen counter, but sometimes we got to move them. So it is what it is. Just whatever you have, go ahead and you can sit them by there and try to get them as much light as possible. But if you're limited space, limited lighting, that's also fine. They'll just be a little more pale and a little more yellow, but the flavor will still be there. From day 3 to 5, you're going to want to keep the soil surface moist, not soaked. Go ahead and let that top layer dry out just a little bit between mistings. Make sure there's air movement so there's no mold. By day 5, you should have garden cress that is 1.5 to 2 inches tall, bright green and ready to eat. To harvest, just grab a handful, give her a snip just above the roots with a pair of scissors, and they should do just fine. Rinse them gently, pat them dry, and you should be good to go. A lot of the time I just cut mine and throw it on something. I don't spray them with anything or give them the option to get anything on them that I think would hinder me, but safety first. I love throwing them on soup, salads, eggs, and sandwiches. Try popping that off 5 times fast. That was ridiculous. They've got a lovely peppery taste, and they give it that burst of fresh garden taste that you're looking for in the dead of winter. And if you tried growing microgreens like this before, we're going to go ahead and go over some of the problems that normally arise grow out. Man, too wet or soggy medium equals mold. Think damp, not soaked. Always keep the thought of a wrung out sponge in mind at all times with any of these. Something to think about. I wonder if you could actually grow microgreens on a sponge. That would be kind of cool. And if you've actually tried that, go ahead and let me know in the comments below because it just sounds interesting to me. Too cold. If it's below 65 degrees, they're going to sit there and pout and they're not going to get real motivated to grow. So go ahead and crank that heat up a little bit. If you need to, throw a heat mat underneath of them. Best bet is with a thermostat. My heat mat that we bought recently actually ranged anywhere from 70 to 90 degrees, just running it straight until we got the thermostat. And once you get up to 90 degrees, that's a problem as well. They don't like it. Not enough airflow. So if there's not enough airflow, you're going to grow mold. And mold is not cool. So what you want to do is add a little fan in there, put them in the, we keep our kitchen and the ceiling fan's always going. So that's how we do it. I also have a fan reticulating. I think that's right. Reticulating fan. No, probably not. Anyway, it's a fan that does the whole turn its head thingy. We have that in the back on the seed starting trays, and it seems to work just fine. And we don't have an issue growing microgreens, so it works pretty decent. Wonder if these would grow in a mason jar, just like the lentils and we've done previously in videos. If you've ever tried growing garden cress in a mason jar, let me know in the comments below. And if you fix those 5 things, your 5-day microgreen will do just fine. If you want more ideas like this for sustainable food that you can grow at home, you can check out my other indoor gardening videos and drop a comment if you want me to cover other microgreens like radish, sunflower, next, and tell me where you're growing them. Off grid, in the kitchen, in the garage, wherever. And we got you covered, and we'll see you next Monday.